This Sunday, as we welcome the full cathedral choir back, we will also mark the day with choral Evensong. And this Sunday, we will start a new tradition and a new format. We've always had sort of lengthier preludes for Evensong to sort of set a more meditative mood. Now we're going to really enjoy our splendid new pipe organ, we're going to start having 25-minute recitals by guest artists. So this Sunday we will have Jim Garvey, who's the director of music at the Episcopal Church of the Ascension, just across town, providing for us a really splendid program of music by women composers. So we really hope that you will make a point of being here by 4:45 at the beginning of that recital. And then the service itself will begin once Jim has finished his organ selections. And we have some really wonderful music. We'll have the full cathedral choir, both the adults and the trebles. And at the beginning of the service, the trebles will be singing the Phos Hilaron, that ancient Greek text that is appointed for the beginning of evening prayer. O gracious light, pure brightness of the ever-living Father in heaven, O Jesus Christ, holy and blessed. And that idea of Christ is the morning star, Christ is the light of our life as we are drawing to the end of the day and as the shadows are starting to lengthen, is a very poignant and poetic part of Evensong. This setting of this ancient Greek text of the Phos Hilaron was written by Andrew Walker, who was born in England and raised in England, but has lived and spent most of his career in the Orlando area of Florida. And it has sort of a dreamy, mystical quality. And then the kids come in singing. Very dreamy and really kind of setting that mood for meditation and for prayer. And then, of course, right after the invitatory, the choir will chant a portion of the Psalter, and we'll be singing verses from Psalm 71. As you know, coming to Evensong, they sing this in a format called Anglican chant, which really has its roots in plain song chant, where there was a simple melodic formula. And in England, in the Church of England, in the monasteries in England in the late Middle Ages and early Renaissance, they started harmonizing these, putting other notes below that chant and coming up with this very unique style of chanting that's unique to the British Isles and therefore called Anglican chant. The Anglican chant that we'll be singing is unique in itself. It's a palindrome. So it plays the same music forwards and then backwards. And so if you're really astute, you may get just a little glimpse of that. And then it turns back on itself. And it ends where it began. And they'll be using that chant tone to chant these verses of Psalm 71. The setting of the Magnificat and the Nunc Dimittis that we'll be singing is by Roland Martin, who's an American composer working in New York. And he wrote these canticles for St. Paul's Cathedral in Buffalo, New York. And this is kind of a special time for us. We're going to be taking this set with us to Ely Cathedral next summer. And so all of the music that we'll be singing at Evensong in the coming year will be sort of in preparation also for us to take to Ely Cathedral. But we have sort of a serendipitous connection now to this setting. One of our new choral scholars, an alto that has just joined us this fall, grew up singing at St. Paul's, Buffalo, and she is very familiar with this setting because they sing it all the time. And she said that she could probably sing it all the way through from memory. So it's kind of interesting to have a little bit of a window into the history, or at least into the tradition of this particular setting of the Magnificat and Nunc Dimittis. And you'll, when you hear it, you'll be able to tell why it's been so popular for that congregation. It's very tuneful and it's very engaging and easy to listen to. And yet it has a lot of really interesting things as well. So it doesn't just carry you along, it also gives you something to really think about. The anthem will also be a piece by Roland Martin, and it's a setting of a prayer from the prayer book. O Lord, support us all the day long of this troubled life. One of the most beautiful prayers in the prayer book. So we have some really wonderful texts and prayers and music in store for you, and we hope that you will join us here at the cathedral for Evensong, starting at 4:45 with an organ recital. And you can join us here in person, or you can watch us live on YouTube.